Hello, this is Darla Corral, and this is the 6th Tech Tip Tuesday, and this is going to be the first video in a two-part series on using Canva. Canva is like a graphic design marketing site that allows you to do all kinds of different designs. They have things for presentations and social media, and I've even, in my personal account, I've started a cookbook, and you can do invitations. You can do almost anything in Canva that you probably used to do in like Microsoft Word or Keynote or any of the other programs that you use to design some of your classroom materials. Now, one of the great things about Canva is that with your school email, you should be able to sign up for the educator's account. And I have done that, and it has opened up a ton of features and elements that I can use. And even with the free account that I use for my personal stuff, I still get a lot of free elements, and I got a lot of use out of it. But once I got the educator's account, it really expanded things. It also sets it up to where you could share it with students, but since I teach younger students, I have not done that. But if you teach junior high and high school students, this may be something you want to look into to allow them to start designing maybe your concert programs or posters, things like that. So in this first video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I create some of the media, informational and marketing stuff that I post on my class dojo or display on my school TVs, things like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go to canva.com and you can create your account. Once you've done that, this is kind of what the home screen looks like. If you look at the top, they give you different categories full of different templates that you can try. It also gives suggestions here, and I can scroll through those. For this video, I'm going to be working on an upcoming performance that I have. I'm going to be working on a graphic for Dojo and my website and things like that for our holiday performance. And since it's holiday related, I'm going to go ahead and go to the card template. So up here in the search bar, you can just type card. When you put in card, it's going to give you a ton of different options. And I'm just going to go ahead and pick landscape card. Create a blank landscape. And that'll open it up to the design window. So it's showing a bunch of my recently used ones. And so when I do this, if I'm doing something for like a specific holiday, cards are one of the easiest places to find templates for. It does kind of limit your templates based on what design layout you have set up. So I use the card ones a lot. So I could search holiday. I may have to be more specific. I'm currently working on our holiday show for December. We're performing a Teresa Jennings musical, The Holly Jolly Pirates of Pinataville. I'm very excited about it. So this one's really simple, and this is actually a free one, and I like this one because it just has a good focus. So here's our text boxes, and they have them grouped. And sometimes this is okay, not always. It's kind of hard to work with when they're grouped like this, so I can literally just click them, go to these three bars and hit ungroup, and then click off, and it turns them into individual text boxes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my last text box, and I honestly will oftentimes use the fonts that are already there. A Holiday Musical by Teresa Jennings. And then you can just drag it to where you want it. And those purple lines come up and show you like the midline of the whole design, which is helpful. Now, if I wanted to insert just a whole new text box, they have them at a heading, at a subheading, and you just click it and it comes up and you can move it and do what you want. They also show you some mixed fonts that look good together, or they show you just regular fonts. They do have some that have effects like glowing, and you can put your own effects, neon and glitch and shadows, things like that. You can animate your words to like fly in if you wanted to make it a video. I want this just to be a still image, so I'm not going to worry about animations. So once I put in that part at the bottom, I'm going to put the actual title. Holly Pirates of Pinata Ville. This font is okay, but I wonder, and I can also change them up here. I'm wondering if I can find one that's a little more maybe beachy or maybe piratey, if that's a word. And you can literally just scroll until you find a font that you like. Now, if you're doing this with just a free account, you'll see these little crowns, and it says as a Canva Pro user, and because it's an educational account, it's Canva Pro. I get these fonts, but if you're using it on just a free account, you won't have access to all of these, but you can usually find something even with the free stuff. As you can see, there's just so many fonts that you can go through. Okay, I think I finally landed on a font. It's called Tropica for the title. I will say that is one of the things about Canva. You can get kind of bogged down with choosing things, so that actually took me a little bit to do. So I've got my title on there. I've got who it's by. So now I need to put the date. Now I've added the date. If you were doing this in person, I'm not doing my holiday show in person this year, but if you were, you could go ahead and put your times. So I'm gonna make one up, 6 p.m. Parkway Elementary Gym. For me, because this is mine, I'm just gonna premiere it on that day. And I'm gonna just move it around so we can still see it through the greenery. Now, I think that's good, but it's still a little plain. So I'm gonna add some elements. So the show is really cute, and it is about these fictional characters that live on an island that build pinatas, and these holly jolly pirates come to their island. So I'm gonna go to elements, and I have some of my recently used graphics, but I'm going to click on graphics because that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to search, I'm going to put pinata. Here are all the graphics of a pinata. So I'm going to choose, and I have a Fortnite pinata. This one's a little more Christmassy looking. And then you can use this little circle down here to turn it. So man, I really want that pinata to go there, but it's just not quite big enough. So I can actually click on these elements and I can resize them. So now I'm resizing my wreath. Now I want to click on the circle behind it. So I may have to move it out of the way for a minute. Make that just a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to put my wreath back. And maybe I'd bring down the letters just a little bit. Now I can fit all of my words on there. Make my pinata a little bit smaller. Put him right there. So I decided that I didn't quite like how that looked. It makes a little more sense for things to be symmetrical. So I'm going to flip this again and turn him up. And I think when things are symmetrical like that, it's a little more pleasing to the eye. So I'm going to fix these just a little bit. Now, see how that's almost, if that was like a full box, it would be going over my piece. So if I wanted to, I could put send backward. I'm going to do that one more time. Send backward. And now it's behind my little leaf, which is good. So one thing I should put up here, so I don't quite look like how this looks yet. Presents. Maybe we'll move all of this up just a little bit. That means we'll move our pinatas up. Of course, I've moved that pinata behind, so now he doesn't want to move up, so I've got to try to move things over to where I can find him. So one thing about putting other elements behind elements is that then you have to move elements to get to them. So move him up. Now those are in line. That's what it means when the little purple lines show up. So move this down. Okay. And now I'm going to add down here and bring this in. I don't want it to be smaller. There. That is the one thing, is you can't, sometimes the text boxes are a little difficult to manipulate. So I want that to be in the middle. Let's see, I want another one in this font. So I want it to be smaller. So I'm going to bring it down some. And then I'll put this down here. Will be available on the PS Music website. And then it's a lot of red, so maybe I need to break it up and look at some of these colors, like on these llamas that I've done. So what if I changed like my leaves here to this brighter green? Maybe a little darker than that. Yeah, so maybe I need something in between there. So if I don't like the color of that, what I can do is I can add, and I can just kind of move around my colors till I get something that matches. Yeah, right there. Let's say that I didn't like that, and I was like, man, I don't like that. I really want it to go back to all being red, so I can literally just hit undo. And all of those changes would go away. And I do think that I want to go this kind of lighter red font. And this background is still just a little too bright for me. Alright, so I think I'm pretty happy with that right now. So now I'm just going to hit download. I don't like it. You can put it on PDF print, but that's going to save it as a PDF file. And if I'm posting this on like Dojo or my website or the school Facebook page, it's just easier to do in a JPEG. You can do it in a PNG file as well, for pretty much everything except JPEGs. So you can just download it and then just pull it onto your desktop to save. So that was our first video on kind of like using really simple tools in Canva to create a graphic. So the next week that I present, so not the next week, but the following week, I will do the part 2 on how to make the concert program, and also how to, instead of doing traditional paper programs, using QR codes to display that and give that out to parents. All right, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to contact us with any topics or tutorials that you would like to see featured on our Tech Tip Tuesdays.